Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. Sorry, let me just move that a little bit closer. For the main part of the read, I'm using this deck, which I don't remember the name of it. I've had it a long time. But if you know it, feel free to leave a message in the bottom. And I'll have to update the thing at the bottom. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the chakra cards, chakra wisdom oracle cards. And at the bottom there, so it's from Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen, and I won't butcher that one, but you know, there it is. Let's go ahead and get into this and see what we got. I'll put you there. I like this deck. I used to use it a lot when I was younger. And then I thought, well, people have a problem with it because there are unicorns in it, but you know, let's just get over it. How about that? We'll just get over it. I don't have a problem with unicorns, but I notice once in a while people have an inversion, and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Let's just go with it. Ooh, that's a good ending. Okay, let's see what's going on with your... How are you getting there, Pisces? That's very interesting. I say that as a Pisces. When you're coming into this situation, something has not been going right for a long time. It's just like, there's just this, it could be a relationship with a certain person, could be like literally like a situation you're dealing with. Maybe there's something like, for example, your home. It's just, there's something about that, like I don't like this, or I always have to deal with that. Something has just been a point of contention for a long time. But even though there's been a point of contention, overall, it's been a good situation. I think that's the hard part with this. It's kind of like, for example, if you have a home, and it's a good home, and it's keeps you connected with the people you love, you know, and it's close enough, and it's in the right spot. But there's something like maybe there's the traffic's too much, maybe there's a lot of clutter, and there's just certain rooms where just like I just don't have the time to take care of everything. I have so much going on in my life that like this room and that room just doesn't get taken care of like it should. There's certain projects that never get done. Something like that, where it's actually a good situation, but there's always these points of contention. Like, I'm not as happy with something as maybe I'd like to be. It just doesn't seem like it's working out the way I'd like it to be. If it's a person, by the way, I feel like this is one of those people that, like, they look out for you, they care for you, you love them, they love you, but they're that person that always says the wrong thing. Like, if you don't want to talk about what's going on at work, they're hounding you about what's going on at work. If you have a certain project that you have to do but you don't want to do it, they're constantly asking you about that project. I feel like it's one of those things. Like, they care about you a lot, but it's just kind of like they're always on your butt. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, would you just go away? I love you, don't go too far, but just go out at your shot so I don't have to hear you. That's all. As this keeps coming forward, I'm getting there's improvement with this situation, but ever so slowly. As time keeps passing... Discovery is here. Is it Discovery? But I'm also getting the Page of Wands, which is staves, whatever. This. See, when I'm feeling this card, I'm getting like you're learning to really love the situation for the goodness it's giving you. And I'm getting like it's feeling better all the time, but it's like it's a slow improvement. But I'm feeling like over time you're really seeing the benefit of this situation. It's like that person, if it's a person thing and they keep driving you nuts about this one thing you don't want to do, and they keep bringing it to the forefront, they're also the one who would say, you could use this for that. Or that's happening over there, you could use that to your benefit. Or here's something to help you with that. Or if you need some help, I'll help you with it. They may be bringing forth the subject you don't want to talk about, but they're also lending you a hand with it at the same time or trying to. And you're like, well, you know, all right. Yeah, there's benefit to this. There is benefit to this. And it's keeping things moving. Even like if it's for example, if it's a situation like the home, and like this room and that room isn't quite right, it's giving you opportunities to have other people help you, is what I'm getting. There's other opportunities that you're being afforded based on the shortcomings that you don't like. For example, if there's a couple rooms you can't get to, there's other people you can bring in to help you with this, and there's good times with that. But also it's like something that's being taken care of, and you actually are making headway on it. It's just not going to the level you'd like it to, but it is getting there. The situation is good. You got the Ace of Pentacles, or Ace of Cups at the bottom here, is where it's starting. It's just taking a while. The Death card reversed is like, the situation isn't getting quite where you want it to be just yet, It's taking a long time, but the death card reversed is kind of like stagnation, but it's kind of like the buildup. Like it's going to change, it's going to get to where you want it to be. It's just not quite where it needs to be yet. But they're saying the death card coming forward, like this situation will move on. Things will go where you want them to be. Things will be put where you want them to be. It's just like this in the environment is kind of like it's just not happening just yet. Now this is fun. In the actual action line, what's happening next is you have the King of Pentacles. And I feel like this is somebody actually showing up and helping you with situations. Sometimes somebody could show up unexpectedly and offer a lot of help that you weren't expecting. I literally feel like this is somebody adding into the situation. Somebody else adding in as a support. Like, how do I put this? If this is a person you're dealing with that you have these points of contention with, this is a third party helping you deal with this energy and helping you work this out with this energy. If it's a situation like the home, this is somebody coming in and saying, here, I'll help you do this. Or, you do this for me, I'll do that for you, that type of thing. Could be even like a relationship starting and making this better. Could be. But something, there's a third party helping. One way or another, there's a third party helping. And I feel like this is creating a lot of balance in this situation. I'm wondering, I'm saying that word balance and immediately I'm clicking to the word Libra. Doesn't have to be, but I am thinking it though. So it's popping in, we're just going to spit it out. I don't know why. Because I feel like this is somebody who communicates well, puts things in order well, gets things going well, brings a lot of stability to the situation. I know that's Pentacles, and people would be like, well, Pentacles, that's like Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. True, but I'm feeling some Libra energy here. I'm seeing some good communication. I'm seeing balance. I'm seeing some stability being created from that balance and communication. I'm going with it. I know that's an Earth card. I know it, but listen, that's how it's coming through for me. The Hierophant is coming through, and I'm feeling more balance. Like, there's like a plan being created here. Instinct is also there. Because this person who's helping, they're addressing this. They're like, well, let's look at where things have been. Let's look how they've gotten this far. Let's look how the situation got where it is and what you're doing to handle it. And the instinct to me is saying, they're looking at like the truth of the situation. Like, we can't just pretend we're going to clap our hands and all of a sudden we're going to have $1 million and life is perfect. We're going to have to do something to bring that towards us. This is possible. The end result is possible, yes. But like, what natural energies are we working with? What are we doing with the situation? And what do we have in front of us that we have to deal with? We can't just clap our hands and pretend like it's all great. We got to work with the energy and see what it is we need to do next. But the instinct is kind of like they're looking at you honestly, and they're like, what works for you to create this plan? How can they help you build this plan that will actually work for you, that you can actually do? Like, they want something realistic. And I feel like the two of these cards is like they're looking at this in a realistic way. And I feel like this person coming forward to you and helping you with this, it's very interesting that the Four of Wands is reversed, because I feel like it's almost like you have to ask yourself, can I do this? That's how it's coming in. I have to just go with it. And I'm saying this as a Pisces. This person is bringing forth this plan. They're saying let's look at what you can do and what you can't do. Like, what have you done so far? What is realistic for the way you live life? Okay? It's kind of like, I don't want to use that exercise thing, but if you're an out of shape person and this person says, all right, let's run that marathon, 25 miles, ready? Let's go. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't care what size you are. If you're out of shape, you could look like you're the most in shape person, but if you're not going to make that 25 miles. It'll kill you. I mean, it might not literally kill you, but you might want it to, because it's going to feel like hell. You'll pass out after so many miles. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter what you look like, but if you're out of shape, it's not going to happen. I know a lot of people who are very thin, and they're like, they don't run, and they're like, not even if somebody's chasing me. Like, I think that's funny, but I feel like this is how they're like, you have to look at this realistically. You have to decide, can I do this? With the Four of Wands reversed, I don't feel like this is like you've lost. I feel like you're kind of looking at this like, what can I do with this? If you have a house where it needs a lot of repairs, this is one of those moments like, well, what money do I really have to make those repairs? And what can I really do myself? What can I pay somebody else to do for me? This person is coming forward saying, like he's holding that pentacle, like, look, here's the plan. I think we could do this. I think this will work. And it's just the Four of Wands, which is stabs in this. I feel like that's literally you saying, or being honest with yourself, like, what do I really have here? And it's taking a lot for you to kind of come around with it, but this person's telling you the truth. And they're showing you what it needs to take and what you actually do have to make this happen. They're actually almost partly your cheerleader too, kind of like saying, no, this is what you have done and this is what you can continue to do. This is how you can do it differently though to actually get to that result, get to that resolution. This comes in. The Tower and that wisdom, like I feel like, well, there is a picture of the world here. This is a very peculiar card, but the green is the heart chakra. The green is like the healing, the wisdom. The world is on that lady's chest. Who, like, I just love her attitude towards this. Like, listen, here's your possibility. Like, here, possibility right here. The Tower with the wisdom, and I'm getting this world feel, is kind of like this person is saying this is what you need to do, and you're questioning if you can do it, but then they're kind of like, no, let's at least try, and you're like, you know what? Let's at least try. What do I have to lose? I've done it this far this way. I feel like you're giving it a shot. Like the Tower is like, all right, let's do it. Let's just start. And it's kind of like, for example, I don't know if we're using the exercise thing again, but here we go. It's kind of like, all right, you want to do that marathon, right? That's your goal. Well, let's do half a mile today, but let's just walk it. And we'll just walk half a mile today, and we'll see how that goes. And we'll take tomorrow for what tomorrow is. So you've got a lot of support, and I get the Chariot. It's like, this is starting off quite well. It's starting off realistically, though. I'm getting a realistic sense with these two. You're realistically going into it. This is, again, it's like the New Year's resolution thing, like people jumping in full speed. Like, you can't jump in full speed. This is you going into this, somebody telling you, like, let's start slowly. It's almost like, you know, you got to make home improvements. They're like, well, listen, we can't just rip down all these walls and just go hog wild. You know what? We want this room to be different. Let's first, like, evaluate what we have. Let's work with what we have. You know, you want this whole room to be different. Maybe for now, we can pull out this one wall, but then we got to, you know, clean up what we can and make it usable as a double room for now. For now, we'll use it as a double room. Let's be realistic. Okay. So that's going forward. Now, there's a lot coming forward here. And I'm getting, like, I have been hearing, like, I do realize this is a healing card on occasion. And I do feel like that's the case for you here. You get the Four of Swords, which can be, like, it doesn't have to be in action. Like, some people are like, this is take a rest. Other people see it as healing. Some people see it as blocks sometimes. Depends on what's going on around it, in my opinion. But I'm noticing, like, I feel like you're pulling back the pace a little bit. And you might be changing your goals. I feel like as you keep going forward, you're upholding this certain level, and you might be changing your goals. You're still putting in the effort, is what I'm getting, because I know it's the Four of Swords, but I don't feel like you're stopping. I feel like you might be reassessing and redeciding what you want, and you might have to take control. Somebody might have showed you the plan, showed you how to do something. I feel like you might be changing the course of action. I feel like you might be changing what you're doing with it, because you got the Page of Pentacles with abundance here. I feel like it's almost like when I was talking about that room, like, all right, we'll take down this one wall and clean that up, and we'll use it as a double room for now, and then later we can build it up a different way, the way you want it to. And it's almost like you're like, but you know what, now that we've cleaned it up and I like it, I actually like this as a double room. I think this is better as a double room. I feel like you're changing, like, maybe I'll do these other things different too, because you have the Page of Pentacles with the abundance. Like, you know what, maybe the ideas I had were very nice, but maybe I'm finding other things that would suit me better. Maybe these other two rooms, for example, I'll clean those up and I'll just leave them as storage rooms, though. The thing is not to get caught up with dogs barking in the background. That's what not to get caught up in. not to get caught up with other people think, because it's up to you what you actually want to happen. And what I'm getting here is, I feel you changing direction. I really do feel you changing direction. Don't get caught up in what other people feel and think. If you want to change direction and that suits you better for your life, then you got to be okay with that. Just make sure that you're okay with that, because I feel like ultimately you're going to have a really good result. But I feel like when you reevaluate things, you might change direction, which is fine. Just be careful about getting caught up in other people's expectations and beliefs, because I feel like other people might be disappointed, like, oh, we had these great plans. I don't know. Don't get caught up in that. That's my whole thing. I feel like that's the whole thing with this. Like, you might just, as long as you have that in the back of your head, like, you know, other people might not be agreeing with the changes you're going to make. As long as you're okay with it and you're on point with it, you'll be fine. Because there is abundance here at the end. But it's the Page of Pentacles with the abundance. Kind of like, I feel like you're liking how things are turning out, but you're changing what you really want. You're like, you know what, instead of spending all this money on this, I'm going to actually change this plan, and I'm going to redistribute this differently, because I feel like these little goals are serving me better, and I like how these go better. You know, I don't think I need this extravagant ending. I think I like these little things, and I actually, instead of like concentrating all my energy on this one goal and keep going this way, I'm happy with this. This came in very nicely. We actually cleaned this up. This looks great. But now I want to put in a little energy over here instead and let that go and just change that goal. And that's actually okay. I'm going to go into something else and do a little bit over here. And that's how I'm going to change this. It's all about what you want. Just remember that at the end. It's all about what you want. Keep it on point with what you want. You set your own goals. All right. I think we're good. I'm going to shut that down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.